That's a lot of glass. So today we are going to have a look at another Inter-Tech case, the C-701 Panorama. But before we jump up the flame train, I know about the O11 and the similarities. The beauty about Inter-Tech cases is that they are incredibly affordable. Now, this little puppy is going for around 85 euros right now, whereas the O11 is going for around 138. That's a price decrease of about 60%, so I have no intention of making this a competition or even remotely get my fingers into reusing design ideas. I'm here to have a look at this case just as it stands right here and nothing more. So let's get into the features. Right off the bat, the Panorama is made out of glass. A lot of glass. Both the front and the side panel can be detached by unscrewing those black thumb screws. The only remainder will be the black bar in between the glass pieces. Inside we will find a huge amount of workspace that can fit a up to 80X motherboard. In terms of CPU cooler, we can install a up to 130mm high CPU cooler. For GPUs, we can install cards that are up to 370mm long, so even these enormous 3090s will fit in it. In terms of drives, we can install up to two 3.5-inch drives and four 2.5-inch drives. The 3.5-inch drives can be installed on the bracket behind the motherboard by removing it with the two screws on the side. But please make sure that the 3.5-inch drives are going inside of that bracket. The screw holes on the outside are protruding quite a lot and they will short out your hard drive. The inside, however, is nicely flush and filled with cozy material, perfect for your 200 gig school folder. Those outstanding screw holes are actually for the 2.5-inch drives. But make sure to install them first, because once those big old metal blocks are in there, you won't be able to screw down the 2.5-inch drives. The two remaining SSDs can be installed on those fan spots in the back of the case by using the black bracket supplied in the box of goodies. One in the motherboard compartment and the other one above the power supply. Speaking of which, instead of the usual approach, the power supply is completely isolated and got its own side of the case. In terms of fans, you can install a grand total of 9 120mm fans. 3 in the top, 3 in the bottom, and 3 in the center? All of them have a magnetic dust filter, even the one in the center, which are getting the air from the back by passing it through the PSU compartment. Additionally, you have the possibility to install 4 80mm fans, but for that you need to sacrifice 2 of the SSD spots. Unfortunately, we will not be using any of these today because I don't have any. There are a total of 9 reattachable PCIe brackets, and when it comes to water cooling, it gets complicated. In theory, you should be able to install 3 up to 360mm radiators in here, one in the top, one in the center, and one in the bottom. But keep in mind that each of these spots share a small portion of space at the bottom and at the top, right in front of the central spot. Therefore, you should have support for at least one 360 radiator in the center, and if you want to go with more, you need to make sure that the part where the tubes come out do not interfere with the other radiators. Or you just go with one 360 and two 240s, those will definitely fit in. For cable management, Inter-Tech made sure to have cable cutouts right beside the mainboard as well as above and beneath. In terms of I/O, Inter-Tech went with 2 USB 3.0 and 2 USB 2.0 and a dedicated RGB button in case you need one of those. Whew, that was a long feature set. Alright, before we build in this, there is another thing that I want to talk about. If you want to go with a full showcase experience, Inter-Tech is also offering a GPU vertical conversion kit. Installing that one is pretty simple, just remove all of the PCIe brackets, attach the flexible PCIe cable to it, put it in place and screw it down. Easy. And now you can hook up that fancy GPU in a vertical position and show off what you got for a kidney. But there is one thing that I want to point out about this. The extension kit only allows for 2-slot GPUs, so some of these 3090s are just off the table. Alright, I think the feature set is pretty much done for now, so let's now build in it and then go over the positives and negatives. Okay, so building in here was surprisingly easy. Once you remove the two glass side panels, you have a humongous amount of space, so no issue there whatsoever. But one thing that kind of shocked me is build quality. All of the other Inter-Tech cases I've touched so far, except for the B series, were alright, not bad, but they all had a slight feeling of like a budget metal. This, however, does not come with that feeling. It's really good. It's still not on a 100 or 150 euro case level, but it's really good considering the price and the type of the case. And with that, it is by far the best quality case I've seen from Inter-Tech until now. Okay, but what is bad about the case? Let's start off with the feet. The height is not so much the issue. Sure, it could be bigger, but it's alright. No, the issue is quality. They are just wobbly as hell. Way too much for the type of hardware that is meant to go into a case like this. Then there's the I/O. 2 USB 3.0 is alright, but these USB 2.0s are just outdated. They should be replaced with a USB Type-C and you're alright. And then there is the reset and RGB button. I think the case is just trying to make me anorexic. I mean, how are my fingers too fat to get these buttons to click? I need a freaking pencil to change the color. What's up with that? Okay, then the last issue that I have with this case is compatibility when it comes to water cooling. If we look over the manual and the website, Inter-Tech does mention water cooling as an option, but they never specifically mention where and how big. Something that they used to do with other cases. And I kind of think that this is completely on purpose, because this is pretty much fucked up. When you look at the top of the case, you see 3 120mm spots and you go, yeah, 360 will fit. Then you see 3 120 spots on the side and you go again, yeah, 360. But if you look very closely, the top red would be ending in front of the red on the side. And this would just completely block off the place where the tube should be. Okay, that's an issue, but let's just rotate the red on the side. No, same thing in the bottom. So 3 360 reds is just impossible. What would work is 1 360 in the center and 2 140s, one in the top, one in the bottom, or vice versa, but no way 3 360s. But I'm still not done with this. The top portion has a whole other issue. There is just not enough space to put any red actually, because it will always end up blocking off the cable holes for the CPU power. The only way that I found it to be working is to take a 240 red and then just slide it a bit to the side, so it doesn't block off that much, though if you don't want to block off the central fans, it will still block off a tiny bit. It doesn't make sense. In general, it just seems like this case was a bit rushed, like nobody took the time to double check these small things. So the Panorama is not really an ordinary case. This is more in the showcase department, and because of that it's not really possible for me to benchmark it with our standardized test. But at least I wanted to try out the performance, so I used our 3700X paired with a EVGA 2080 Super and a NZXT Kraken X53 RGB, everything at stock. Then I filled the leftover spots with Arctic P12s and grilled everything with heavy load and Firmac on 1080p 8xAA. While doing this, the 3600X stayed at 67 degrees C, while the 2080S stayed at 65. So if you need the numbers, there you have them. But this brings me to another point, because this showcase-like style also comes at quite a cost. Because they moved the PSU into the separate department, they shrank the front portion quite severely, resulting in a laughable maximum CPU cooler height of 130mm. This means that things like a Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 4 will just not fit at all. So don't even plan to go with a high-end air cooler. The Panorama is clearly meant for water cooling, which then ends up being annoying because nobody can tell what will fit in. Yeah. But hey, at least cable management is alright. You get a bunch of zip tie holders and a really ton of space where you can just cram everything in, because if nobody sees it, it ain't a problem. Okay, so all in all, I still do think that the case is very much alright. Sure, the feet are garbage, it has the same I/O as my 10-year-old printer, and the water cooling is confusing at best. but you can still fit in a 360 rad and two 240 rads, which is really good. The build quality is also very good, and the amount of SSDs and hard drives is sufficient for most builds. Then the amount of space is great, and the airflow, although I'm not able to correctly measure it, it should be more than good, because with this amount of fans it cannot be bad. And of course the look is absolutely fantastic if you fill it out with RGB fans. So all in all, that paired with a 85 euro price tag, it's a pretty good deal. Sure, the original 69 would be way better, but it is still very good. To sum up the case, even if it has its flaws, I can still absolutely recommend it. But if you really want to go with a showcase style like this, just keep in mind that you really want to cover the central piece with fans. It looks weird when it's empty. If Inter-Tech ever thinks about making a V2 out of this, bigger, way sturdier feet, ditch the USB 2.0 for a USB Type-C, put some rubber thingies around the cable cutouts, those make it just way more premium, and most importantly, make the case either a centimeter higher or wider, or even better both, that will fix the rad problem. Okay, so this should be it for the C701 Panorama. I would like to thank Inter-Tech for providing us this beautiful case, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if so, make sure to leave a like and be subscribed to not miss the next video, because we have still a ton of hardware reviews coming. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you next time.